They wanted to do a t-shirt. And Jimmy Miranda comes up to me and says, "Do you have an idea?" And I said, "Austin 316 on the front." And I said, "Carve in a skull in the back and put Stone Cold on it." And it turned into one of the number one selling shirts in the history of the business. So that shirt means a lot to me.
Hi, Steve. Thanks for hanging out with me.
Glad to hang out with you.
One of the things I love most about Stone Cold Takes on America is that we get a peek behind the scenes, see you driving from place to place, meet the crew that's traveling with you.
Hey, I'm Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I'm hitting the road to take on any challenge that's brave enough to take on me. I'm attempting to drift race. About to learn how to fly a helicopter.
I think you can do it.
Hell yeah. From the desert to the ice, from 2 wheels to 2 rotors. You never know where I'll show up next. Can I take your order, please? Because I may be retired, but I ain't taking it easy. I'm taking it on. Let's get it. Oh, hell yeah!
How long did you film this show, and was this really one long road trip from place to place?
It was not all one road trip. There was like, we'd film a week, take a week off. There was one little stop down for some technical issues, and then we joined back up. But it took close to 5 months to film this thing. So, but then again, there was a little bit of a break in there. But god dang, when you're filming a lot of cool stuff, and some of my favorite stuff is just driving down the road, joking around with the crew.
Lauren, you gonna be my co-pilot?
I think so.
Let's do it. No, I'm excited. I feel great.
One quick favor, just do a clap in front of your face for all the cameras.
Yep.
Perfect, here we go.
It takes a long time. It looks all fine and dandy on TV, but doing things that you love to do, or you're crossing things off a bucket list, is great in theory. But when you add camera, lights, sound, the hurry up and wait aspect, it takes a lot of effort to go out and have fun. So it was an epic show. I had a great time doing it. And the elements where I'm at my best, it's hilarious and it's exciting. In moments where I'm a fish out of water, there is pain and agony on my face, and you can read it like a book. But through the good times and bad times, I think we ended up with a pretty entertaining show.
This is the show that I've been looking forward to my whole life. All right, we're actually wheels up, headed for an adventure of a lifetime.
We both love pro wrestling, we both love traveling, and we both love beer. And I feel like this may be a controversial statement, but during the pandemic, I developed a love for sour beers. Are you a sour beer fan?
I am. There's a place in town which sells both of my beers.
My beers, both of them, will be on sale. Steve Austin's Broken Skull IPA will be at sale, and my American Lager will also be there as well.
And when I first moved out here, I read, okay, here's this deli, and they have this new, I forget what sour it was, but I was like, I've got to go try this beer. And sure enough, it's going to be on draft because they have about 40 beers on draft. And I get there, and they were out. I was so mad and distraught. I was like, I came here for one beer, and it's gone. So I do share a love of sour beers with you as well. But I can only have about, like if they have 1 or 2 or 3 on draft, I'll go 6-ounce pours and enjoy them. But then I got to get off of them because too many is just too much. So I enjoy them, but just a little bit before I'll shift on back into my world of IPA.
Fair enough.
You guys think I can get a strike?
I see you laughing over there.
I loved seeing you bowl with those senior citizens because I always think of you as a wrestler who, in a sense, lived the gimmick in a way that Stone Cold was an exaggerated version of who you are. And so I really enjoyed seeing a softer side of the Texas Rattlesnake.
I'm glad to hear you say that. I hope other people feel the same.
What size am I looking for?
13, the magic slippers, if you will. But how do I stack up as a bowler? Oh, yeah.
When the producers hit me with, hey, what do you think about doing bowling? I said, yeah, that sounds cool. I don't bowl a whole lot with seniors. Oh, well, I think that's what you want.
Let the competition begin.
I'm a competitor, and I had a blast, but I was out for blood. I thought I was going to kick their butts. I won't give it away.
Come on, red!
But those people, man, especially Diane, full of fire, full of life, having a blast. I'm going to go bowl with them. I have some of their numbers, and I'm going to drive over there, and I'm going to go bowling with them again because that's how much fun I had with them.
Diane will be very happy to see you.
I got a problem.
Yes,
How
ma'am.
come you're sporting that beautiful shirt?
Well, I had these shirts made because I knew I was going to be in heavy-duty competition with y'all. Do you want to wear one?
This one?
When we're done, you can have my shirt.
Really?
Well, just keep your eye out for Diane. She might later on.
Oh, right. If you could invite any wrestler, whether they're still with us or not, to join you on a Stone Cold Takes on America road trip, who would it be and why?
Kurt Hennig.
Mm.
We were competition, but everybody knew who Kurt Hennig was. He was highly respected by all of us because he was so good. He was so funny. He was so personable, and he was never, ever in a bad mood. But here was what happened. When you pass by Kurt in an airport, if you happen to be just, passing through in a terminal, if he said hi to you, you had to go to a bar right there, an airport bar, do a shot of Jack with Kurt, gargle it, and then swallow it. And that's how he rolled. And then he went and got on his plane, and you got on your plane and you went. So he was never in a bad mood. He was game for anything, very quick-witted, and a killer sense of humor.
I love that. I attended my first live wrestling event at the age of 12. It was May 18th, 1996 at Hershey Park Arena, and you, Stone Cold Steve Austin, defeated Jake the Snake Roberts at that show.
Wow. Man, that's been a minute.
Yeah. Steve, do you remember the first wrestling event you attended?
Yes, I do. It was the first event I ever attended would have been at the World Class Sportatorium in Dallas, Texas. I'd gotten 2 scholarship offers, full rides to the University of New Mexico in Albuquerque, or what is now known as University of North Texas in Denton, Texas. So I went to Denton. Denton's 30 miles from Dallas, Texas. And it put me right in the hotbed of professional wrestling from the world famous Von Erichs. On Friday nights, I would drive down there with some of my friends or by myself, and I'd watch the weekly show. On Saturday mornings, I'd drive back and watch the television taping, which played live to tape at KTVT television that night. So the Dallas Sportatorium, watching the Von Erichs, Bruiser Brody, the Fabulous Freebirds, that was the first time I'd ever attended, and I started attending almost on a weekly basis. And therein, set the path that I always knew I was going to get into business pro wrestling. And then I saw a commercial to go into the Gentleman Chris Evans Wrestling School. So me getting that scholarship, being in proximity to Dallas, that's my answer. World-class sportatorium, that's my first wrestling match.
Wow. At that 1996 show in Hershey, I bought my very first wrestling t-shirt. And it was this iconic Austin 316 shirt. And I'm very nostalgic, and I have a hard time throwing things away. So I had all of my wrestling t-shirts from when I was a kid made into this quilt. You can even see I've got Mankind over here on the other side. And I have in the back here another one from your return after being run over by Rikishi at the First Union Center in Philadelphia, Unforgiven. Your face is all over this quilt.
You know what? My niece, she was at a thrift shop or whatever they call them these days, and there was this old Stone Cold shirt, and I think the price on it was close to $300. And she FaceTimed me, and she goes, "Uncle Steve, you're not going to believe what I found." And she showed me the price tag on it. Those old vintage shirts are some of the most sought-after things in the world, and I wish I would have known it back then to held on to some of them now, because I did a real bad job of collecting my memorabilia because I really wasn't into it. But those shirts have held up. When I first came into WWE, Mick Foley was coming in, Vader was coming in, Mark Merrow was coming in, Mark Henry was coming in, and they had all these merchandising ideas for those people that didn't have nothing for me. And so finally, long story short, they wanted to do a t-shirt. And Jimmy Miranda comes up to me and says, "Do you have an idea?" And I said, "You damn right I do." Austin 316 on the front, because remember, I cut that promo in Milwaukee in 96. And I said, carve in a skull in the back and put a Stone Cold on it. And they put the smoke coming out of the eyes. That was their idea. But I knew the idea for the shirt, and it turned into one of the number one selling shirts in the history of the business for a guy who never, especially when I entered as a ringmaster, they never had any intentions that I would be a star. So that shirt means a lot to me.
It means a lot to me, and that's why I made it into a blanket. So getting back to Stone Cold Takes on America, you're certainly no stranger to being on the road, traveling the country for weeks on end as a WWE superstar. And I'd love to ask you about some of your favorite locations across the country. First, I'm curious, what is your favorite city for food?
Man. Well, because I was in Los Angeles for such a long time, Los Angeles has the best of the best. And so does New York City, just with regards to steakhouses. And Los Angeles with sushi. I would have to say LA for food. I'd have to say LA because they know what's up with regards. Where are you based out of?
Philadelphia.
Okay. Now Philly. When I used to go down there to work with ECW for the brief time that I was with them, thank God for Paul Heyman. He was one of the most important figures in my career. I mean, Philly's not famous for those two cheesesteak places, and I can't remember the names of them.
It's Pat and Gino's.
Yeah, those sandwiches, those Philly cheesesteak sandwiches, and I got one every single time I went there. So I'll put Philly on the list for Philly cheesesteak sandwiches because you can't find those sandwiches in any state and any location. You think, well, how hard can it be to make one of these sandwiches? Obviously harder than it looks because not everybody's making them like that place makes them. But so you talk about it, just an extravaganza of a meal, and it will wake up your taste buds.
This one's probably a pretty cliche one, but what is your favorite city to wrestle in?
Easy. Without fail, first thing comes to my mind, Chicago, and specifically the building, Rosemount Horizon. The acoustics in the building, that is like a wood ceiling. You could get 18,000 people in there. But for some reason, people in that town started resonating with the Stone Cold character before I really took off and caught on fire. So I have a soft spot in my heart for Chicago, the wrestling fans there. And that city, for some reason, took to me, and that building is spectacular because when you do something, you get an immediate response from that crowd because of the way that building's constructed. So Chicago, Rosemount.
There was a time when we spoke about merchandise, your face was on everything. You had so much merchandise. Do you remember the oddest place you ever saw your own face?
Well, it wasn't my face, but it was the Austin 316 condom. I was like, man, and it wasn't my idea, okay? But, and then as far as the strangest place I've seen my face would be, a lot of people got tattoos of my face, whether it was chest, back, shoulder, above the belt line, I should say. When we were leaving arenas, you'd see all these things. It's like, golly, this is pretty out there.
This will be my last question. I so distinctly remember watching you on Nash Bridges, even though I had absolutely no interest in that show as a teenager. If you could land a role on one of your favorite TV shows right now, what would that be?
I'd have to go just because I really like the Cole Hauser character Rip in Yellowstone. To do something with Yellowstone, if it's still going on, I know they're going to spin off and go a different direction. But that would be a cool stop.
I love that. Well,
and maybe a fight scene with Rip.
Yeah, I think Stone Cold could take Rip for sure.
Well, there's no doubt about that.
Steve, thank you so much for so many years of entertainment and memories. This has been an absolute, honestly, a highlight of my life. And here's to you.
All right, cheers, man. I'm still drinking coffee here. Thanks for supporting the beer.
Of course.
I like the IPA. My IPA is a favorite beer, but we did a good job of that beer. I love that beer.
It is very good. Thank you so much for the time today.
You guys, thank you.
Hey, I'm Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I'm hitting the road to take on any challenge that's brave enough to take on me. I'm attempting to drift race. I'm about to learn how to fly a helicopter.
I think you can do it.
Hell yeah. Let's have some fun.
I see you laughing over there.
And raise some hell. You guys think I can strike? From the desert to the ice, from two wheels to two rotors. You never know where I'll show up next. Can I take your order, please? Because I may be retired, but I ain't taking it easy. I'm taking it on. Let's get it. Oh, hell yeah!
Stone Cold takes on America.
Walk off.